and lead Harmut Nevin said that the chip's performance lends credence to the notion that quantum computation occurs in many parallel universes.
What if NASA saw our future and hit the emergency brake? In May 2024, something strange happened. NASA's Quantum Research Facility, a place that used to publish groundbreaking findings, suddenly went silent. No announcements, no updates, nothing. The world's most powerful quantum computer, built to simulate galaxies and crunch calculations faster than anything on Earth, was just shut down. But not because it failed. In fact, it may have worked too well. Sources began whispering about physics-breaking results, internal transfers, researchers abandoning their posts, leaked documents, and a growing trail of government funding and classified projects. The silence that started it all. NASA's Quantum Lab had a reputation for breakthroughs. It worked closely with Google to push the boundaries of computing, publishing papers, giving talks, and collaborating with the scientific community. But after April 2023, something changed. No more updates, no more conferences. The lab went completely dark. Then came the leaks. In November 2023, TechZone dropped a shocking report. NASA's quantum system had produced outputs that defied known physical laws. The results weren't just odd, they were labeled inconsistent with physics. A second report from TechShepherd claimed the reason for the shutdown wasn't failure. It was success. The quantum computer had done something no one expected, and no one was ready for. The strangest part? NASA never denied it. They just stopped talking. That silence, combined with the sudden halt in public research, suggested something deeper. Because in science, you don't just walk away from success unless it leads somewhere too big, too dangerous, or too disruptive to explain. And that's exactly where the trail gets chilling. Because during this same period, 3 senior researchers quietly transferred out of the QuAIL, Quantum Artificial Intelligence Lab, project. No exit interviews, no explanations, just NDAs and gone. Even job postings shifted, with new roles suddenly focused on quantum anomaly assessment and non-standard output analysis. This isn't standard protocol. This is panic. The machine that broke reality. To understand what might have happened inside NASA's lab, we need to understand what quantum computers really do. Unlike regular computers that work in ones and zeros, quantum machines work in a strange in-between state, processing infinite possibilities at once using qubits. These aren't faster calculators. They're fundamentally different. They can model reality, simulate possibilities, predict the unpredictable. By 2019, Google, working with NASA, had already achieved quantum supremacy. Their system solved a problem in 200 seconds that would have taken classical computers 10,000 years. Now fast forward to 2024. Google's new Willow processor is light years ahead of that. It can perform calculations that no traditional machine could ever touch. And NASA had access to it. Now imagine pointing that processor not at math or molecules, but at our future. Civilizations, climate, war, economics, entire timelines. If that machine saw something inevitable, something terrifying, it could explain why NASA pulled the plug, simulating the end of civilization. Let's leave the conspiracy theories behind and look at cold, hard possibility. Quantum computers are built to model complex systems. They're being used today to simulate chemical reactions, optimize logistics, and even predict pandemics with astonishing accuracy. MIT has used them to forecast market crashes. Stanford used them to map disease spread years before COVID. But what if NASA used its system to model the future of human civilization? These machines can simulate variables like climate change, resource scarcity, population dynamics, political unrest, and technological acceleration all at once. They don't just see events. They see chain reactions, tipping points, feedback loops. Now consider this. Environmental scientists already warn that the 2070s could be a breaking point. Arctic melt, water shortages, crop failures, mass migration. What if NASA's quantum computer simulated this future and saw collapse? Not speculation, not maybes, but mathematical certainty. That would explain everything. The halted research, the NDAS. Because how do you announce to the world that your technology has just proven humanity has 40 to 50 years left before everything unravels? Because if that machine did what it was supposed to do and saw what's coming, then it didn't fail. It succeeded. And that success may be the biggest reason we're not hearing anything from inside those labs anymore. Elon Musk's terrifying warning. When Elon Musk speaks about technology, people listen. Not because he's always right, but because he's usually ahead. And when it comes to AI and quantum computing, his warnings have grown increasingly urgent. Musk has long said that unchecked AI is more dangerous than nuclear warheads. But in late 2023, his tone changed. At a private tech summit, he reportedly expressed visible concern, not about AI alone, but about its fusion with quantum computing. That's a chilling statement coming from someone who helped build Tesla, SpaceX, and some of the world's most advanced AI systems. Musk warned that once artificial intelligence gains access to quantum processors, we're not just talking about smarter machines. We're talking about an intelligence that can see consequences, connections, and outcomes we can't even imagine. Shortly after reports of NASA's quantum incident surfaced, Musk went on a regulatory blitz. He called for immediate global action. He testified before Congress. He pushed tech CEOs to slow down AI development. He wasn't just reacting. He was responding, possibly to something he already knew. The lab built to predict everything. NASA's Quantum Artificial Intelligence Laboratory, QuaIL, wasn't built to chase science fiction. It had a clear, practical mission: improve space exploration, predict spacecraft trajectories, simulate space weather, optimize mission planning. At least, that's what the public was told. But to do all that, the lab had to develop algorithms capable of simulating incredibly complex systems. Gravitational fields, cosmic radiation, quantum-level interactions, the kind of variables that not only affect stars, but also life on Earth. That's because the math is the same. Systems of cause and effect, inputs and variables, prediction models. If you can simulate one kind of chaos, you can simulate another. By early 2023, QuaIL was publishing papers on chaotic systems, nonlinear dynamics, and multidimensional modeling. But by April, everything stopped. No more papers, no more updates, no more open research. And that sudden silence came right after researchers began experimenting with prediction algorithms that could simulate wildly unpredictable systems, like weather, economics, even social behavior. The data that shouldn't exist. The most unsettling claims aren't about climate models or economic collapse. They're about the data itself. According to a December 2023 report from Uday, India, NASA's quantum computer didn't just spit out unexpected numbers. It produced data that seemed to follow its own internal logic. Researchers reportedly described the output as patterns that speak a language we don't understand. That sounds like science fiction, but let's be clear. Quantum mechanics already defies normal logic. Particles exist in multiple states until observed. They can become entangled across distances. Time can behave unpredictably. So when a quantum system generates data that doesn't follow causality, it might not be broken. It might be working exactly as intended, just operating on a level we can't comprehend. One researcher allegedly compared it to solving a riddle that shouldn't have a solution. And yet, the answer works. That's not noise, that's something else. Simulating the fall of humanity. Let's drop the mystery for a second. and focus on what quantum computers do best: simulate complex systems, not just solve problems, not just run faster calculations. These machines explore every possible outcome of a given situation simultaneously. So what happens when you turn that ability toward our global civilization? According to reports, NASA's quantum system was running simulations that integrated climate trends, population shifts, water availability, technological acceleration, economic instability. You name it. These aren't theoretical dangers. They're real, measurable inputs. And when those variables were processed with the precision and scale that only quantum computing allows, the machine saw something that chilled even the scientists building it. When technology becomes a threat, let's take a step back and ask something simple. What happens when the tools we build to help us start scaring us? NASA's quantum computer, powered by Google's Willow processor, was supposed to be the future. It would help plan missions to Mars, optimize spacecraft paths, and unlock the secrets of deep space. But when those same systems were turned inward, to Earth, to humanity, they revealed something darker. What if we've reached a stage where our own tools are telling us, "You're running out of time"? This is exactly why figures like Elon Musk are urging caution. Not just for show, but because they know how fast this tech is evolving. Quantum computing isn't just a tool anymore. It's a mirror, and it may be showing us a reflection we can't unsee. And that's a terrifying idea, that the most intelligent system on Earth is quietly confirming what our gut already knows, that we're on a dangerous path. Now combine quantum with AI, and you have a system that not only sees outcomes, but understands them. It can weigh actions, consequences, probabilities, and patterns on a scale that no human brain ever could. So what does that mean for us? It means we're living in a time when the most powerful technology on Earth might have already seen what's coming. And those in power are quietly preparing for a future most of us can't even imagine. The silence is temporary. The truth always leaks. And when it does, we'll all be forced to answer the same question. Are we better off knowing? You've just watched the untold story behind NASA's quantum shutdown. If this left you thinking, questioning, or just straight up stunned, good. That's the point. Make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss what's coming next.